Okay, working on a 2007 Kia Grand Carnival, and the ignition plays up. You turn the key and it stays turned, it doesn't spring back. So taking that apart today to find out what's wrong with it. I've never done this before for Kia, so figured I might as well record this and might help somebody else out. Also good footage to go back onto myself if I've when putting it back together I've forgotten something. Anyway, so I've lifted the panel here, it just clips down. To remove a screw there, remove a screw from the bonnet lever to take that out because this has to come away. Remove the screw here, remove the screw from the bottom of the handbrake release or e-brake, and to remove a screw that's there as well. And so now I need to get this off. So I think it's at the bottom, and I'll get that off and then show you how I did it. Okay, the bottom doesn't clip down at all, but you got the clip here and a clip up there, so you have to pull the what I did was I pulled the bottom forward first and then pop the top out, but you could probably pop the top out and the bottom out at the same time, and they both come that way to come off. Now take the side panel there off, it just clips on, there's no screws there to hold that on. Now I'm going to have 3 screws on the side here that I'll remove, and then I should be able to pull that forward and unplug these switches. Alright, once you've got these 3 screws out, there's these little clips here that still hold it on, so don't let that trick you. You know, once you've got that off, then the rest of it just pops off. It's got clips like this everywhere else. Okay, so next part is by removing this bar that goes across here, I can then move this fuse box away from the bolt there, and the 2 up the top there as well. Hope you can see that. And that drops the fuse box. I was then able to get behind it with a screwdriver to get access to the screw that's behind there. And now that should come out. I'll get that out and I'll show you how I did that too. Okay, so I've got this part out. And the trick is, after you get that screw off, the ignition or the key chamber, when it goes in, it's got like its own little key mechanism that goes past that point there. I'll probably draw a diagram and just put that up there to explain that bit better. And so you've got to turn the key. I think it was on accessories where the angle I had it on, that when that came out. So you might want to just turn the key anyway to get to that point, and then that just slides right out, and that's done. And the reason why the car's not beeping right now is the ignition in is because I've unplugged the little bugger right there. That's the immobilizer plug, and tells you when the key's in the ignition. That's just to stop that annoying beeping. And now have a look at this. I'll dissect it and see what I can find out, if it's fixable or need to be replaced. Okay, so this is all apart here. So you got the springs that have little ball bearings that sit in the end. That's the hardest part to put back together. This part here, it can only go one way. That sits on like that. And this one here as well, the dip there can only go one way. And that's how that would be assembled back, and then this would go on top, and that controls your ignition and accessories and so forth. But like I said, the trick part is getting it back in with the bearings. Ideally, if I had a cylinder that this could slide into, and then put in here, and then push the, and then put into here, and then push this past that cylinder, and then take that cylinder away. That'd be the way to put that on, but I don't have that, so I have to do it the hard way. And make sure that I've got this the right way, because this part of the spring here has to sit in that area there so it can turn. Might make it easier if I go from that side there though. I'll try. Got it. Beautiful. Okay, that's back together. Okay, well, I've got it back together. And the most annoying thing about keys, man, I'll tell you, when you put this key in, I don't know how many other cars do this, but as soon as you put the key in, you can't keep the key in the ignition without it being started. I'm going to fix that. Anyway, so before I got it like this, and move the key around, and be very temperamental with like just the slightest touch that way. Okay, see, I can see it's got a bit of a spring there now. Couldn't even do that before. And the starting motor kept on winding over. Now, beautiful. So the problem was in that thing I pulled apart. So something must have slipped and not reseated itself, and I was leaving that disc slightly turned, which I did feel a bit of a click when I put it back down. Hopefully that doesn't become a problem later, but if it does, no worries. I'll put it back together and I'll make sure I'll file that one section. This whole area to pull apart took me probably about half an hour, so it's a bigger job than what it looks. Oh, sorry, scratch that. It's not as big a job as it looks. It's just fiddly. Not as easy as a Toyota, but not overly hard either. And basically finishing this off, reverse all this to put it back together. I will not be right now. I'm going to be tracing the wire to find out how to remove that annoying beeping noise when the ignition's on. It has something to do with the door, I think. Yeah. So I'll go to the door itself and look at the connection there, and possibly just cut a wire or something to stop that, because I'd like to be able to leave the keys in the ignition and get it out, put petrol in the car or something like that, or even you're just sitting in the car and you want to breeze, and you you know, you just want to listen to the radio instead of some accessories. Yeah, that's too much of an inconvenience. I'll fix that up. Alrighty, so thanks for watching. I didn't really see anything repaired, but you got to see that mechanism pulled apart and how to put it back together, and that in itself repaired the problem. So until next time, hopefully not too long. Cheers.